Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at how to put together find a clip in one of your recordings and edit it so that you can use it in your video. We're going to start with a new project, okay? And so you can use pretty much any of the projects, but we'll go ahead and use loops. So we'll select choose, okay, and you can name this. Let's see, I'm using Billy's Bounce, so we'll use that. Create it, and you don't have to worry about any of this information. Okay, GarageBand will take a second, and then it'll create the new track. Okay, now we can go over here and use the media browser to locate the file that you want to work with. And then you can look under iTunes or any of the other. Okay. And so I'm going to go down here and find my Billy's Bounce. It's in my iTunes library. Now the other way you can also do, so if I locate it, let's see, here's the one that I want. Right there. Now, so to bring that in, I can just simply click and drag it in here. And we'll place it right there. The other way you can do it is that if you know where it is on your hard drive, you can simply click and drag it right in like that. Okay, so there's a second version of it. Now I'm going to take that out of there, but so either one works. Right? If you were going to edit this to play the entire thing, now we can double click this and we'll open up, and you can see that we can see the waveform a little bit more clearly, and you can see that there's some blank space here at the very beginning. If we want to edit that, we can just click on this, okay, and drag it. Now notice that it's jumping, and the reason it's jumping is because under Control we have Snap to Grid turned on. If you want to be able to make it move smoother, just turn that off, and we drag it like that. And now you could drag this to the beginning, and so now it's going to start fairly close to the beginning. It's a good idea to have this window open so that you can see what you're doing more clearly, because this is not quite. Now if you need to zoom in, you can zoom in using the controls here, and you can see that now we can get it much closer and see what's okay. And the same here, you can also zoom in and zoom out of your view here too. Alright, so what we need to do then is we can play this. Okay, and I also want to turn off our metronome down here. I don't really need that going on. And so now I'm going to roll down, and I need to find, now like I say, tempo doesn't really matter, and neither does, and in fact you might even want to look at this as time rather than as tempo, so you can see how long your clip is going to be. And I'm going to look for where my solo is. A little further up. Okay, we're just getting in there. Okay. Okay, so my solo starts right about there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that clip. And to do that, I can start up here at the track menu. Oops, the edit menu, excuse me, and select split. Notice that the shortcut is Command T, and I use that a lot, so I know that. Okay, so now I'm going to go find where my solo ends. Okay, and then I'll split it again. This time I will use the shortcut Command T. Make sure you have the clip selected when you do that. There we go, Command T. Alright, so now I have this one clip right here in the middle, and so I'm going to make a copy of it. I'm going to hold down my Option key, click on it, and drag it down. Okay, and at this point now I'm going to mute the original track. And then I'm also going to turn on the loop. And for the cycle region, I'm going to drag that up to here. Now if you want, you could also just drag the clip, your section to the very beginning, and that would work too. And I need to make this a little longer so that it'll actually be here. Matter of fact, I don't even need this media browser in the way. It's just kind of taking up space right now. Now I can see what I'm working with. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom back so that I can see it all. There we go. Okay, so there's my clip. Now if I press play, it's going to start right. Okay, so I have that there. I'm pretty happy where it started, but if I wanted it to make maybe just a little bit longer, I could move it. And notice that nothing's actually missing. Okay, when we edit this, nothing has changed really. Let's take a listen to the ending and see if it ends where. One thing, when you have the loop on, it'll always jump back to the beginning, so I end up having to listen to this. Okay, I'm going to make that just a little bit longer too. And that means I have to make my loop a little longer also. Okay, so now the next step that I want to do is, I'm going to have a fade in and a fade out of this clip as well. And to do that, we're going to click on the automation, and you'll see that we have track volume here. And it's very simple to do. We just click on, and we'll give it a couple of points. We had 2 edit points, and I'm going to drag the first one down. And so now, okay, and again, I might have, maybe a little bit more lead time would be a good idea there to bring it in. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. And then I'm going to do the same thing here at the end. And we'll create a fade out. Okay, and that fade, actually, I think the fade is actually a little too long, so we're going to pull that a little closer. And move that like that. And I'll turn on my loop for just a sec. Okay, that's a little better. I'll turn my loop back on. All right, so we're pretty much, we've got the clip all set up. And so the next thing you can do, this is entirely up to you, okay, is that we can decide if we need to add a little bit of effects to this. Okay, and so there are all sorts of presets. Note that we're using realist instruments. You could also put this on the master track. Okay, and when we click the edit button, we get to see the different types of instruments that are here. Now we could put a noise gate on. If there's some noise in the background and there's some fair silences that you're going to be using, then you would use this. A compressor is something only to use if there's a real great dynamic range change. You might want to be careful with that. Okay. And then you can also change your EQ. Let's take a look at the EQ. Okay, and the EQ has some presets, and you can use those. So here, let's see if what happens if I make the acoustic guitar clear. Okay. EQ is basically used just to enhance the overall sound if there's some certain frequency ranges that aren't working so well. All right. Okay. You also have the option of putting on reverb. So here, let's put a little reverb on and see how that works. See, now you don't do too much because then it sounds like. So if your recording sounds a little too dry and you want a little bit more presence to it, a little bit of reverb can be a really useful thing. So we'll leave that there. Okay. There are all sorts of other effects, but unlikely that you're going to want to actually use any of them in your. All right, so that's fine. We're happy with that. So the last step is then to go up to the share menu and export the song to disk. All right. What you should probably do is not compress it at all. Okay? If your original recording is a WAV or an AF file, don't compress it and just export it in its original quality. You can then change it to MP3 or AAC or any other format that you want, but you'll always have the original quality available to you.